Hello, my friends. So I'm not sure if you are aware of a Yule event that is scheduled for December 3rd in Tuscumbia, Alabama, but a group of Christian Karens have, and they got their panties all up in a bunch over it. The usual concerns are here: spiritual influence and the corruption of our youth via satanic imagery. I first came across this article in The Wild Hunt. If you haven't checked them out, I highly recommend them. They release articles every day ranging from all sorts of issues and concerns related to paganism, witchcraft, and all things occult and esoteric, all for free, but they do accept donations. I'm not going to read the whole article, just a portion of it. Links to the article are below. Tuscumbia Festival of Yule, posed by Christians, written by Star Bustamante, November 22nd, 2022. Yesterday, The Wild Hunt reported on the opposition being voiced online by some of the residents of the northwestern city of Alabama to the Yule-themed festival, depicting as being satanic and encouraging people to voice their concerns at the local council meeting. The Wild Hunt spoke yesterday with Kendall Gilchrist, organizer of the Festival of Yule and owner of Hesperia Mystic Shoppe, about the event and how she found out about the mounting opposition to the event. Links to her Etsy shop and their Facebook page is below. Please stop by and show your support for them. As we reported yesterday, Gilchrist was shocked by many of the comments made online and had no idea that certain segments of the community intended to voice their concerns over the event at the regularly scheduled city council meeting. She had already intended to be present at the meeting, but likely would have been blindsided by the hostility had someone not alerted her to rhetoric circulating online. The Tuscumbia City Council meeting went the way many pagans might likely expect. The City Council first addressed the kind of normal business that is handled in most City Council meetings: review of previous meeting agendas, financial reports, and the presentation of a Young Citizenship Award. All of the kinds of business City Councils everywhere handle. The Council meeting was broadcast on Facebook Live and is now available on YouTube. Let's check out this video, and I'll make some comments as we watch it.
Next is we got a discussion for the Yule Festival by Miss Kendall Gilchrist. Again, this is no actions taken. There's no voting or anything like that tonight. But if Miss Kendall would like to come up and have a discussion.
It's worth pointing out that I believe Christians opposing this event got in early so as to be the dominant voice, a tactic that is often used by small groups wanting to appear larger and more vocal than they actually are. From the Wild Hunt article, then the council moved on to a discussion on the upcoming Festival of Yule. They first allowed Gilchrist to offer some details on the origin of Yule and Krampus and the purpose of the event. Gilchrist said, "The energy in the room when I first walked in was just permeated with hate. Most of those in support were out in the hall, and 90% of those actually in the room were people in the opposition to the festival."
And already had plans to come to the meeting to inform the city and surrounding areas of what the Yule Festival is about. I planned to come alone. A few days ago, a person I did not know personally came into my husband's shop looking to speak to me and let us know what was going on via Facebook regarding the festival. This person sent some screenshots of what some citizens of Tuscumbia were saying and planning to do. I found the comments shocking and very unexpected coming from these people. These comments stated Satanism.
Of course, because everything is Satanism to these pearl-clutching Christian extremists. Their knowledge of history comes from one book, and it only goes back 6,000 years. Or, at least that is what some of them claim. Of course, not all Christians.
And that they needed to share and gather people to this meeting and appeal to the councilmen to not allow this festival to happen. And I quote, "in our sweet town." I want to address the Satanist comments. I do not view myself as a Satanist, although I would take the advice of Jesus from my Christian upbringing, and that is not to judge someone who might be. Next, I would like to address the comments made about Krampus.
Speaking of Jesus, can't you just feel the love in this room? Look at this guy's body language: crossed arms, head tilted, and an icy stare.
We do not know the actual origin of Krampus, but we can trace them back to the Germanic paganism and Norse Viking.
Well, to these pearl clutchers, it's all the same, even though modern paganism today is based off pre-Christian cultures, and Satanism from, say, the Church of Satan, is a play off Christian mythology.
We'll find much of the stories that Krampus is St. Nicholas's companion, and that they would go out together. St. Nicholas was in charge of the nice children. Krampus was in charge of the naughty children. In essence, you can say they are the physical form of the modern-day naughty and nice list.
Some of these pearl clutchers believe that this event is in opposition to their beliefs. Well, if that is how you feel, don't attend. Nobody is forcing you to attend it.
This festival is not anti-Christian, and it's not exclusively pagan. It's not anti-anything. It's for everyone to enjoy this time of year. That is winter solstice, and also an awareness of the origins of this holiday season.
Sorry, but this is driving my OCD crazy. 1 second, let me just turn this a little bit to the left. There we go. That is much better.
We are here to get away from the stress of the modern-day holiday season. Just have fun while promoting local artists, creators, small businesses, restaurants, and small cities across the bridge that tend to get overshadowed in this area. I want to end with a Facebook post that my husband sent me by Bridget Anna McNeil that describes winter solstice, which is really what all of us, no matter what religious stance we have, applies. And it goes like this. The winter solstice time is no longer celebrated as it once was, with the understanding that this is a period of descent and rest, of going within our homes, within ourselves, and taking in all that we've been through, all that has passed in this full year, which is coming to a close. Like nature and the animal kingdom around us, this time of hibernation is so necessary for our tired limbs, our burdened minds. Our modern culture teaches avoidance at a max at this time: alcohol, lights, shopping, overworking, overspending, comfort food, consumerism. And yet the natural tug to go inwards, as nearly all creatures are doing, is strong, and the weather so bitter that people are left feeling that winter is hard. Because for those of us without burning fires and big festive families, it can be a lonely and isolating time. Whereas in fact, winter is kind. She points us in her quiet, soft way towards our inner self, towards this annual time of peace and reflection, embracing the darkness and forgiving, accepting and loving embracingly goodbye the past year. Winter takes away the distractions, the buzz, and presents us with the perfect time to rest and withdraw into the womb like love, bringing fire and light to our hearth. And then just around the corner, the new year will begin again, and like a seed planted deep in the earth, we will rise with renewed energy once again to dance in sunlight.
That was beautifully put. I like that description. From there, they opened up the floor for comments on all the business they had brought before the council. They also made it clear that there would be no vote taking place on a Festival of Yule event, but rather they were seeking to provide the community members with the space to express their thoughts and concerns. All of those who spoke identified as Christian, and nearly all voiced opposition to the event, citing how unchristian it was, how it did not reflect the values of their community, and the dangers of allowing any kind of practice or ideology to be expressed that did not reflect their own Christian faiths. And now we get to hear from a Christian Krampus. I mean, we get to hear about the Christian opposition to Krampus. Sorry, I got my juggled all words.
And I've done a lot of research on this.
Usually when this particular brand of Christian says they did research, what they mean is they went to biased sources and cherry-picked certain elements to suit their needs.
And Krampus, and I certainly hope I'm saying that correct, Krampus is depicted as having long, curved horns, fangs, a long tongue, and dark hair all over.
That sounds very monstrous, like they are trying to scare little kids into being nice. Where else have I heard of myths and legends of a monstrous being with horns and a tail threatening people into being good? And if they don't, this being will punish them for eternity in some fiery realm. Damn it, my mind is drawing a blank.
I certainly trust trust that you folks, before you permitted this, I trust that you did research to see what all of this means. It makes it look very devilish. The legend of Krampus has ties to paganism.
Paganism or folklore? And when you say paganism, are you referring to the pre-Christian cultures of Northern Europe?
It started in Australia folklore.
Did he say Australia or Austria?
Australia folklore probably as a way for parents to try to make their children behave. So you take Santa Claus on one hand and Krampus on the other hand, and the kids get up on Sunday morning that have been good and receive gifts because they've been good. But on the other hand, Krampus is for some of the kids that have not been good.
Damn it, this really sounds familiar. Where have I heard this reward and punishment system to reward good behavior and punish bad? Now this is driving me nuts. It is on the tip of my tongue.
And in just a moment, it is set up so that Krampus will scare the children, beat them with a bundle of birch switches, and it's kind of like Satan's evil counterpart.
Hold on a minute. Satan as an evil counterpart? So Krampus is super evil?
However, I believe the term family-friendly was used during this, whatever they fill out. I would like to know where this is family-friendly.
Sure, family-friendly is the exact opposite of what you and your mob of zealots are doing right now. Being family-friendly is being kind and accepting of others around you, showing love and appreciation for being their neighbors, not chasing them down with pitchforks and accusing them of being devil worshippers.
Burn the witch! Burn the witch! Burn the witch! Burn the witch!
Do you smoke?
Burn the witch!
Guess we'll find out soon enough.
Krampus tribute involves public drunkenness.
Oh my Lord, drunkenness. That's the devil's juice.
Men running through parties.
Men running through parties? Do they have to be drunk first, or can sober people run too? Seems a bit discriminatory.
As a sort of twisted anti-Christmas celebration.
Being drunk while running is anti-Christmas? I did not know that.
I don't know what they have planned. I just know what I've read, but I know what this can lead to.
Yeah, men running while drunk at parties. That's what it leads to. Why do I feel like Krampus here wants to bring back prohibition?
I don't want an anti-Christmas celebration.
It's not anti-Christmas. This festival is on December 3rd, not the 25th. Why do these Christian bigots have to take everything to such extreme? Simply the existence of Yule is now anti-Christmas. Do we have to outlaw Yuletide caroling? Should the police be going door to door confiscating Yule logs?
I don't want a pagan holiday, and I know we have them. But I don't want us to have any more pagan holidays.
Krampus here has moved away from the horrors of drunken men running around parties to now attacking pagan holidays.
And there's so many things that this ties to. It's not a family-friendly type of things that we want to carry our kids to. It involves a lot of things.
Yeah, Krampus just keeps saying it's not family-friendly, hoping it sticks. And it involves a lot of things? Things that are worse than drunk men running in parties?
And I'm not going to talk to you about all of it, or we'd be here all night.
You got the floor, Krampus. Just give us a few highlights of what is so satanic about a Yule festival.
Our goal is to tell you that we're not behind this event. We want to make sure this event puts out their true intentions.
Their true intentions? What nefarious schemes do you think these organizers have in mind for a Yule festival? Couples kissing under mistletoe? Somebody might spike the eggnog? Gifts might be bought and exchanged under a decorated pagan tree? Maybe boughs of holly will be hung on unsuspecting Christian homes. Oh, the humanity!
and which groups of people this is catered to. Christians will not stand behind this, and we will take steps to do whatever it takes to let the people know what this is all about. We're not violent people, so put that out of your mind. We're not going to do anything crazy. But we are going to let people know. We are going to let them know what this is about. And this is not a family-friendly festival.
I swear, if Grampus the Grinch here says not family-friendly one more time, I'm going to throw a fruitcake through my screen.
It is atheism. It is paganism. And you could keep going on and on and on.
I'm just going to highlight a few of the next comments. Link to the entire video is below if you want to see the whole thing.
But I'm just here to tell you, anybody with any lick of sense, anybody with any biblical knowledge, it is demonic, it is satanic, and you are opening up this city for possession and oppression that you have never known. Never, ever known.
Regardless of whether it is pagan or satanic or from whatever origin it is demonic because it is against Christ. Therefore, any worship or glorification of any false deities that are contrary to Christ ought to be opposed by all peoples, especially Christians. When Moses comes down from the mountain after giving the 10 Commandments,
the Lord Jehovah has given unto you these 10 commandments.
And he sees the nation of Israel worshiping a golden calf. He doesn't turn up to God and say, well, God, sorry, it's religious freedom. They ought to be able to do it.
Pastor Grinch, have you heard of the First Amendment?
The problem is that not all beliefs are equal. Not all ideologies are equal. There are some who are false, and there is only one that is true, and that's Christ. Luckily, his ideology, his belief, and his religion is the best. What a coincidence.
So when I see that flag up there, and it says one nation under God, when I hear that young man take an oath, and the final 4 words of that oath were, "So help me God," then when I look at this event, it's pagan.
One nation under God was added to the Pledge of Allegiance under Eisenhower on June 14, 1954. Next.
Think about the seat belt. So they decided to pass a law and make it where everybody would. Same thing happens here, just like Brother Greg said. This can lead to something else and something else. Remember the seat belt. It just started with something, and elected officials are supposed to take care of the people. And that's what the seatbelt was for. It wasn't about rights. I don't have a right to wear it or not wear it. It's a law now.
We are not making all non-Christian holidays illegal. Next.
This is occultic. This is what we've seen in the Bible.
Next.
My biggest concern with the influence that this festival would bring is geared toward our children, our young folks.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
I've got documentation here that this festival, Yule, is tied to the false god Odin. Odin was adopted as a character by Marvel Comics, first appearing in the Journey into Mystery series in 1962. But it goes further than that. Odin is featured in a number of video games.
Oh my God, not video games. That's the devil's playground.
Would just listen to us that this is not a good deal for our children. Santa Claus goes back way back there. Yule is portrayed as the Santa Claus of the pagan cult of the Germanic nation. So in 12 days, this influence of drinking, and I've got even a document in here that says that any that participated in this festival must drink ale.
What about all the pagans, heathens, and other such types that don't drink? They stay sober 11 months. Yule comes around and they are like, well, it's Yule. I gotta drink ale. There goes my sobriety. There are plenty of pagans that don't drink.
So drinking is heavily involved in this festival. And like one has already said, it doesn't stop here. It will gradually go. It's like boiling a frog. You don't throw a frog in hot water because he'll jump out.
This analogy is really bad. People are smarter than frogs. Well, most people at least. At some point, your body realizes the water is getting pretty hot and you might want to get out of the tub.
Here we come allowing something else to come in to influence them to the point that's going to drag them down and eventually destroy them.
Celebrating Yule is not going to destroy your children, and Krampus is not going to stuff them in a bag and beat them with sticks. Well, not if they are good little boys and girls. Could we hear at least one voice of reason?
I mean, it's one of those things that if you don't agree with it, you don't have to show up. It's one of those things that I think we all just have to make a personal choice, but I'm not sure that it's the city council's job to enforce Christianity.
Finally, a voice of reason. Yes, exactly. It is not the city council's job to enforce Christianity, and no one is forced to attend this event. So glad at least one person in this crowd is smarter than a frog.
My name is Karen.
Oh my God, they brought out an actual Christian Karen. My name is Karen, and I would like to talk to your manager about Yule. This festival is satanic, and I want you to fire them immediately, or I will stop paying my taxes.
I started reading and studying about it, and Grandpa's carried a bag on his shoulders, and the bag was for bad children. So the bad children were either eaten, burned alive, or sent to hell, or drowned. So that's the family atmosphere you're talking about with this creature walking around the streets of our town.
I feel so bad for Kendall Gilchrist, the organizer of this festival and the owner of Hesperia Mystic Shop. She has to organize an event, run a business, and deal with delusional Christian Karens. If you live in the Alabama area, I hope you attend this festival, and please check out her shop on Etsy and give her a virtual hug via their Facebook page. I'm sure she could probably use it. Until next time, I will see you in hell, you heathens.